Hello, it's me, Tara, and today we are going to be learning how to draw and sketch animals. This is an old book from the 60s of how to draw animals. Basically, you're going to be doing almost the same thing. You use our simple shapes and put them together and create the face of an animal or the body. You need to know how to do a couple of different things. First off, this is called a super sketch line, and the bottom line is called a direct draw line. After you take and practice those super sketch and direct draw, you're going to notice that there are three basic lines that make up everything in the whole world. The first line is a straight line, then a zigzag line, and the third line is a curved line where you connect two dots. These lines make up shapes. Shapes are circles, triangles, and squares. Circles, triangles, and squares then transform to make everything else. Ovals. If you put two triangles together, you get a diamond. If you put two squares together, you get a rectangle, and so on. So if you know how to draw a circle, a triangle, and a square, you can pretty much draw anything in the whole world. Now take out your handy-dandy sketchbooks. We're going to take our sketchbooks and we're going to practice drawing. We're going to look at an image and draw what we see. Notice my finger is tracing the shapes, the basic shapes that I see when I look at the wolf that I picked. And I'm showing you how you're going to be drawing lines, how the fur grows, and so on and so forth. So I get out my pen. I'm using just a regular black pen. I'm not using a pencil because I want you to see that you don't need to use a pencil first for this project. Please go straight to a pen. Oh, you don't want to start like that. Don't do a direct draw. Do a super sketch. Everybody say super sketch. And one of those 6 lines that I drew is going to be the line that I use later. Same with the oval for the snout, the triangle for the ears, and the eyeballs, the little circles for the eyeballs and stuff like that. You'll notice that I'm looking at the proportions. The actual line of the fur is at much higher than where I sketched it first off. I call these hyperactive lines. They never stop moving. They never stop wiggling. So I sketch, 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 and that looks like the fur, and my pen's barely working. You'll also notice I'm not holding the pen like you would normally hold a pencil. I'm kind of using it like a mark-making tool, which is something that artists often do. They don't put the pencils and the pens exactly like how you always think of using pencils and pens for writing. Now I'm adding on more lines, which turn out to be kind of like contour lines because they're the lines of the fur. I'm drawing them in the direction of how the fur grows. In order to do this, I look at the picture closely and then start drawing the lines in the directions that I see on the photograph. I get a lot of resources from calendars that are being thrown out. And I used to have a store in Portland, Oregon, where I would go and get all these beautiful animal calendars for $1 a piece. I don't have access to that store here in California, but I'm looking for one. So if you know of a place to find beautiful animal photographs, let me know. Here's me adding fur, 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 fur. I have the video set on fast speed, so it looks like I'm drawing like a crazy woman, but really, I'm not going that fast. I'm all done with this sketch. I'm naming him Wolfie, or in Spanish, Lobocito. Thanks, guys. Bye-bye. Okay, we're finished with part 1. Part 1 was sketching a quick sketch of a creature in our sketchbooks. Part 2, you will get a black sheet of paper and a gel pen. You can use the same animal you used for your sketchbook, or you can switch it up. I'm switching it up because I'm using a bunny so you can see 2 different animals and how to draw them. I'm starting out with my basic shapes. I draw very lightly and super sketch, super light. The idea is that if you make a mistake and you're doing a super sketch line, you really don't have to worry about it because it's going to disappear later and you're not going to see it anyway. Remember, be kind to yourself when you're doing this. Say to yourself, oh, that's pretty close. Good job. Talk like you're talking to a little cousin, a little sibling, or somebody who's little, who always needs encouragement and kindness and love. I know it sounds weird, but it's the truth. You need to be kind to yourself when you're drawing. Drawing is a process. It takes a while to get where you want to go. When you look at your picture and it's only half done, or you only have a few circles or a few sketches, it looks funny. That's okay. This is how it is. As you add more and more lines and more lines and more lines, that's what makes it get more interesting. So here I am drawing the bunny, and I'm going around and around, and I'm adding on to make the background darker. I'm using I don't mean background, to use the lines darker. I'm using a really pale pink. You can use any color you want for your creature. When you use colors that you feel instead of colors that you see, you are using expressive colors, and that's a type of art, expressive art. When you use the exact colors you see in the photograph, that's called realistic. And you think of it like real, keeping it real. It looks exactly like the photo in the book. I like to do expressive. I'm kind of one of those rainbow people. I like tons of colors. I use a lot of color theory when I'm drawing. But for right now, I'm just using one color all the way around. I'm using the pale pink, and I'm going to finish my whole preliminary sketch with pale pink. I'm checking it out. I'm looking back and forth. I'm looking at my picture, and I'm sketching, and I'm doing the fur trick. The fur trick is where I draw the fur growing in the direction that it looks like it is on the photograph to make it look realistic. Okay, let's see. Hi. Notice that I'm adding on into the background now. If you look closely, I've probably got 6 layers of gel pen colors happening on the bunny. With all that fur, it almost looks a little bit three-dimensional. This is a trick you can use. I also forgot to mention in the beginning that I want you to draw a big circle on your page. You can trace it or you can sketch it. The idea is that you draw everything inside of this circle. This gives you a composition trick that always helps and makes things look awesome. I'll show you the final project, final bunny, in real life in a minute. Thanks, guys.